What do you see? This is your boy Sherry Streets. I want to talk to you guys today about Lethal Weapon, episode 5 of season 1, called Spilt Milk. And respectively, it's called that because in this episode, we deal with a very serious issue that plagues many of our armed forces veterans that go over and overseas and fight wars for our country over in some people's opinions, dubious things. But, this episode is triggered around, I know, a Navy SEAL that's done 2 tours that has 2 Purple Hearts. In this one, you really see yet another case that affects Briggs personally because just like the guy Chad Jackson, the veteran known as Chad Jackson, who happens to be taking like an antidepressant to deal with the traumatic experiences of being overseas. It takes a personal toll on Riggs because he too is a former Navy SEAL and a veteran. So no one understands that what the quote unquote bad guy or victim is going through Chad Johnson more than Riggs. And throughout this episode, you see a lot of doubt cast over Murtaugh as well because of his age and because of the heart attack. But then you also realize that, hey, the reason why we find out the reason why Chad Johnson is going off like this is because this new clinical trial drug is making him lose his mind. I mean, he's lost 3 of his brothers in arms due to this trial of medication, this antidepressant. And he says he's not going to finish until his mission is done. And eventually it came to a close, and it turns out that he was actually framed for murder for killing Logan Cox at the Veterans Hospital, the guy that administered the antidepressant, the clinical trial of antidepressant for Johnson and his brothers in arms. Turns out that he actually wasn't involved in that murder. He was framed, settled by a woman by the name of Gaius, the co-creator of the antidepressant. Her bodyguard killed Logan Cox, the administrator. So then he thinks that everyone's going to think he's a bad guy. He just said he went over there to ask him why did he do this, to get the truth out. And then all of a sudden someone showed up and killed him. When Johnson was talking to Cox, he noticed that after he left, he was still alive. But then we found out that he was dead. His friends were on the gun and at the scene, so he basically had to fight for his innocence, like any other non-guilty man, and I respect that. So overall, I love this episode. It's a 10 out of 10. Just because of the serious issue at hand and how Riggs took it personal and how they got help for Mr. Johnson. Unfortunately, he couldn't get help for all his brothers in arms, but case was a good shoo-in, and Riggs actually got him some help, and everything's great. Same for Murtaugh as well, because he felt like that ever since his heart attack, he hasn't been able to get his focus back, and he also had a little funny run-in with his wife Trisha's new assistant Desmond, who happens to be younger and attractive, I guess, and so that was a little good comic relief right there as well. Seeing that both of our heroes were dealing with their own little personal issues, and only to come up on top is yet another reason why I love Lethal Weapon so much. I can't wait for the next episode next week. This is your boy Sherry Speaks. Make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel and all the other jazz. Hope you guys enjoy it and everything. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below and all the other jazz. I love y'all.